In this video we're going to be talking about the AirPods Max and how people are responding to it. As you can see, we have the real AirPods Max here, a very beefy, supersized version of the AirPod Pros. And obviously with the AirPod Max, they're not actually that big. They're a relatively normal size in terms of headphones. But the word Max gives off this idea of it being a very mega big piece of technology. They're probably the type of people who have very strong brand loyalty to Apple, and it seems as though when Apple, dropped their new latest product, Apple's most ardent lovers are willing to do essentially anything to get their hands on it. Even in times like this where the Apple AirPod Maxes, I haven't used them, but at face value it seems as though they're quite overpriced, like $550. That's a hefty amount of money. In terms of what they were saying about the AirPod cases, that is true. Those two headphone cups, or whatever you want to call them, definitely do look like AirPod cases. Maybe Apple intentionally had that design in mind when creating the AirPod Maxes, because obviously they've used that design before with the normal AirPods. Maybe they wanted to carry that on through with their latest release. In this tweet you can see a lot of sarcasm. So obviously he did buy it because of the name. What they decided to name the product was what really enticed him. As I mentioned earlier, the word Max just like gives off this notion of it being huge, like the ultimate piece of technology, and presumably that's what brought this customer into buying the product. Here we have a very savage tweet. Yeah, he's not happy about the case. He's saying that it's just effectively futile. It offers nothing to the table, but I mean it does cover a bit of the headphones, but obviously not all of it. But yeah, I guess when you're paying that kind of money for a product, you want the case to cover everything. That should be like a bare minimum expectation. Yeah, when you see how much it costs, that initial reaction, you're flabbergasted, you're shell-shocked. Like, you just can't believe it. It's mad. $550 to me just seems like way too much. I guess maybe Apple's costs of production were like really high to make it, so they had to make the price high so that they could still make a profit. I don't really know. Yeah, I mean, in terms of noise cancellation, it's very important. When you're out and about, you may want to block out all the noise around you so that you can just fully immerse yourself into what you're actually listening to with the headphones. Yeah, noise cancellation is probably more of a priority than something like make another AirPods when their other ones are already doing sick in terms of popularity, sales, stuff like that. Everywhere I go, I see the original AirPods. Apple are probably willing to take it to the next level, moving into the automotive industry. I feel like they'll go for an electric car, and yeah, you can see they've transitioned from making phones to earphones to headphones to TVs to Apple TV. Could the next step potentially be cars? I think it could be. The whole point of the tweet is that he didn't list any actual reasons, so clearly he doesn't think the AirPods Max are any good. And obviously the guy in the second tweet is sarcastic. When the original tweeter replies back to Rafa, you can see Rodrigo talks about the difficult choice of not buying or definitely not buying the product. So yeah, he's sure that it's not any good. I mean, I thought the whole AirPod name was given to things that fall under the category of earphones, but now Apple are moving on, changing into making headphones. So I thought they'd give it a different name altogether, not still have it under the name of AirPods.
Most of my niggas, they came from the struggle, we tryna eat. Young nigga winning, I came from the streets. I need some bands, find it a week. Playing with me, you end up on a t-shirt. Shawty want me, I don't need her.